Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 25. We're in Brackenbury. We're headed towards the sanitarium. I wanted to start the episode here because I wasn't sure if we would actually run into anyone along the way. That would be sort of a problem. Because you never know what kind of random thing you're going to run into along the streets. El Sanitarium. Alright. Now what are we supposed to do here? Return to Dalton and Copperlane. Yeah, we need to do that. Rogue Knight. The Long Hunt, the Master Below, the Trials of Avowed. It's Time and Tide. It's up here, isn't it? Yeah, oh, the Man Who Waits. That was it. Someone waiting there. A prisoner by choice. Prisoner by choice. Wouldn't that describe this thing? Let's talk to that.
Good day to you.
You may have a member of the Leaden Key in your midst. Ethelmore groans and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Leaden Key as well, I take it. They have something I need. They are up to something, and I'm trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient. Very well, in that case, I would recommend you first speak with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. No problem. Find and question animancers. Speak with Head Warden Ethelmere. Okay. Nothing in here. Sanitarium guard. Let's go downstairs. The animancers who were named upstairs are, I believe, they got the green background, so they're just there for the flavor of getting to look into their pasts. But we spoke with this person before, Modred. Let's see what he has to say.
Good day, stranger.
Helig is dead. For good. Modred lets out a long breath. Then I can rest easy. You've done a great service for Animancy. For the sanitarium and for me, thank you. Glad to be of help. Okay, so that's all we got from him. Oh no, I guess we don't want to steal anything from him. What's this here? Someone in here. Strange device seems to thrum with power. This is Belisage, yes.
Gods keep you.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. Akasi! Here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? Have you noticed anything unusual or suspicious here lately? It is rare for me to notice things that do not relate to my work, even when they are in front of me. Sentare amicio. But I am not the best choice to help you with that. Something else you need. What do you do here? According to my research grant, I study awakenings. Sublimating pre-awakened souls has been one of Animancy's greatest successes, and I am working on a method to replicate the process on awakened souls. But the truth is that I find few suitable subjects here. Widewind's legacy has left plenty of awakened souls, but most are too broken for study. I fear I will return to Ravua with nothing to show for my efforts. You're in luck. I have a volunteer. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gallarde, who is it? Aloth's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. Process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. I beg your pardon. I jest. You Adirans are so uptight. Do not even know what the thing is used for. Belonged to the last occupant of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax. Don't try too hard. And then you will not be relaxing. Indeed. And you must also wear these, a little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists, and as she ratchets them together, the face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now, I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with Audra lenses cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. Does this mean we'll get to talk to Isilmir more? I like that lady. Belisage raises a finger, but first we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Good luck, Pelagina says. You'd have an easier time getting straight answers out of a drunk priest of Whale. Aloth squirms on the couch. Very well. Belisage holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal. Something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. It was just a normal child living in the Sithwood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, entangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thane's family, but I always know when she is coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her Hamneg to another man supports us better than his labors as a steward. This is good, Belisage says. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little, because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach and I curl up to shield my vitals. But it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against a field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Maldizio! Belisage furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with this old memory. You've got to bring him out of it, quickly. I almost have it. Squeeze Aloth's hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. Is ne'er safe when I hop upon him. Belisage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high and higher. That warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when crisis is nigh. That's different, Pelagina says. Perfetto. We have flares of totally distinct essence. Belisage jots shorthand notes onto the pages next to her and turns one clicking knob of her scope. Now, try to get the two of them talking. Isilmer, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Fie. He's the one needing of me. Hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in a shell. Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good. Yes, Belisage says. Very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Where he ebbs, the other flows. It's as if the awakened soul fills the spaces that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrists, quill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isilmer? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. Aye, I lend him a pair too. You should ask what I did, that old man of his. How the last time he laid a hand on us, I broke it in 3 pieces. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. I was awakening, but now I'm stuck with you. And damned if I let your ninny drag us both through the scupper. Ack. Very good, Belisage says. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Ilsamil's essence throughout the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seemed to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which of course means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you, and in the midst of his perturbation, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horse shit. How gracious, Pelagina says. Belisage glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation. Yeah, you're close. I think Isilmir's appearances are related to potential sources of trouble for Aloth. Belisage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. Aloth removes the copper bands. Well and good for you. But what does this mean for me? Belisage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheeks with a quill, making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Well, Isilmer. Let's see. There's a bunch of options. They all kind of sound the same. It seems that Isilmer steps in when she determines that you're in danger. It's not clear yet whether this is a help or a hindrance. From my position, I'd say it's pretty clearly a hindrance. Got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Darius. He does not look at Belisage. Belisage sets her notes on her desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you as it has been to me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Reveler, Bender Ayla. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you've always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Belisage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want my personal information published like this. Especially not after her nonsense. No. You get your explanation and she gets her research. That was the deal. He slides the papers back onto the desk, giving you a real full look. I'm not gonna help you explain this one, scholar boy. Well, the man who waits is down here somewhere then. We learned that much. She said he was the former occupant of this room. Quest is completed. Two-sided. So, who's in this room? Ripley. That's cute.
Well met, friend.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her, row by row, her motions quick and skittish like a bird's. She does not notice you until you are nearly upon her. Oh my! Startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating anything suspicious in the sanitarium. Oh, I'm just Master Azo's assistant. He's known more about that, but he's in the middle of an busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out from the patient ward. Is there nothing else? I need to get back to work. If Azo's busy with patients, or is he running some sort of experiment? I'm just an assistant. It's not my place to gossip. Sorry. How do I get into the patient ward? Only Master Azo has access. I guess Head Warden Ethelmore does too, but he's, statue now. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. Me? I'm just Master Azo's assistant, but there's a visiting scholar from Revua here named Belisage. She claims to know more about them. Yeah. Alright, what do we have? What's this? Note from Azo. Ripley, I require more copper tubing for my next experiment. Do not requisition it from the sanitarium stores. I don't have the time to deal with the head warden's inevitable questions. Oh, how interesting.
I've got it. Finished.
What is this? North Ward patient record. The Pale Lady. Subject is female, mid-40s, awakened to a past life as a serial murderer, which now frequently emerges as the soul's dominant personality. Subject vacillates between violence and severe depression, resulting from guilt of past deeds. Weak candidate for president research. North Ward patient record, Graham. Subject is male, approximately early 30s. Powers of speech absent, presumably as a result of the overfragmentation of his soul. As such, he is the ideal subject for present research. However, experimentation has caused severe pain and induced panic, and I have had to enlist the aid of the guards in transporting him for more recent procedures. North Ward patient record, Idleman, the Midnight Man. Subject is a male, mid-20s, displays acute dissociation and paranoid delusional tendencies, causing anger and extreme violence. Dangers of working with the subject preclude the possibility of further use in present research. Uskrem. Subject is a male, approximately 17 years of age, admitted for episodes of catatonia followed by occasional violent outbursts. Initial analysis of soul revealed severe fragmentation and essence deficiency. Said deficiency all but eliminates the possibility of utilizing the subject in present research. The man who waits. The man who waits with his research. Well then, who's in here? An empty room with this box. The edges of the cage are dented and scored with claw marks. Sometimes we get people in here trying to make trouble for the animancers. Unlocking it will require the proper key. Well then, let's go talk to Boss Nos. That's what he has to say. Can you possibly get us a key, dear Ethelmere?
Good day to you.
I found records that Azo may be running some questionable experiments. Experiments? Caedman Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Caedman. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I am granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter. and I, for one, am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would also ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough trouble as it is. Thank you, my friend. Interview Graham in North Ward. Graham is the guy we're looking for. Okay. Taxes collected. We like that. Lost 600 to the bandits? Oh. What can we do from here? Let's see what's on our list. Taxes collected. Nothing new to report. The Celebrant's Dirge added. This quest expires in 3 days. Celebrant's Dirge. 25% experience. Celebrant's Gloves. Copper in the treasure. Average item. I need to assign someone to it, and I need to assign... Okay. You're going. I love this. You can put companions on these things. Go, darling. Go be successful with that. That'd be great. Okay, what do we have here? Flesh construct. Frail. Frail, my friend. Frail. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward. Greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Yes. Do you know where I might find Ezo? I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Have any of your patients here been acting unusually? Well, there's Batixa, who relieves a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who they say only has half a soul, and who was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands, and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior, I mean. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Hazel let us know that a number of the patients in the North Ward had volunteered for a new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward is our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham I can see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he always was a bit of a wild one. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen guards allow a visitor. Just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Let's see. Master Azo. Well. Let's go here then. Shares a wall with his office.
I'll get it open. Finished.
What is this thing? The Raven Wing. Holy Moses, what is this? Unique mace, one-handed. Let's take a look at that. My friend, what do you got for me here? It is interrupt, 18 to 26 crush damage, 3 damage resistance bypass, 4 accuracy when attacking the same target as an ally, 25% damage when attacking the same target as an ally. That compared to his current one, which is fast, has a weak interrupt, does less damage, but it converts grazes to hits, and it restores damage's endurance. Nice. Okay. My friend, here's what I'd like you to do then. Why don't we take this like this? We'll put this stiletto in here. Yeah, dude, that's a nice little upgrade there for you. It won't convert hits to crits or heal you on a hit, but
finished.
It's very more damage would be better. What is this? Light armor. Breakout. Recovery speed minus 25, minus 50 stun duration, minus 50% knockdown duration, plus 50 defense while stunned, and plus 50 defense while prone, plus 2 damage reduction. That is actually probably ideal for me, and here's why. Because I have spent some time on my butt in this game, and I don't like that. And I need to get back up. when I'm there. So this compared to this has the same amount of damage reduction, slightly better damage reduction at base, and then to be able to get up from knockdowns and have better defense when you're prone is probably worthwhile. That's me wearing the raggy looking armor. Caedman Ezo. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Yeah. I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question, those patients are in isolation for a reason. I've seen your records. I know what you're doing with them.
Those are private. You have no right.
He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger, growl simmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
Yes. Ethelmar told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmar hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved to an inanimate object. So I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willfully ignorant as Raid Saris. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Animancers, Pelagina says, must push the boundaries of knowledge, but you must be careful, Azul. Even Defiance Bay isn't as safe for research as it once was. I see. Seems to me we're still in the dark.
Is that a reason to stop trying? Shall we remain in the dark until the end of time and have the last breath of the last person alive be breathed in ignorance? The gods want us to know. The clues are all around us. In understanding these truths, we honor their creation.
That seems a bit presumptuous.
Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it now that Ethelmar is involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close to breakthrough. They understood that. They understood that their sacrifices would mean something. I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. I don't have time to give you directions. Go bother somebody else. I will go see your North Ward then. I have to come back here and smack you on the head. I will. North Ward, are we going out this way for it then? Hello, kitty cat. Who do we have here? A patient. I'm looking for Graham. Where is he? Patient. Flesh construct. Maybe he's in here. Northward key. Graham, my friend, where are you? Where do you think he would be? Probably here, maybe? Uskrim. The willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of the cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. No, I need to find somebody in particular. The man who waits. Interview Graham. Alright, that's who we're supposed to interview. Can't get in there. The man has the look in his eyes of a hunted animal, and at your approach, he staggers backward to the far corner of his cell, halfway appearing as though he would climb the walls if it would get him further away from you. He cries out a bizarre primal utterance, like nothing you have heard. Need to ask you some questions. Graham looks at you blankly. It is unclear whether he understands you or not, but his panic has momentarily subsided. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words that come out are half-formed as though his tongue were cut out. They are impossible for you to discern, if indeed they are words at all. Aloth makes a noise of disgust. Those animancers did this to him. You can see what comes of their meddling. Azo ran experiments on you against your will, didn't he? He looks at you with uncertainty. Slowly, tentatively, he steps closer to the front of his cell, and as he does so, for the first time you can perceive his soul within your ken. It is misshapen, as though maimed by some jagged instrument, and large expanses of it have been gouged out entirely. You feel no barriers of resistance. If you wanted to, you could look further into Graham's soul. You project out toward the maimed soul in front of you, merging with it, its confusion and fear becoming yours as it whisks you into its depths. You're in your cell. A key turns. Door creaks open on neglected hinges. Thoughts come to you in waves, incomplete, broken, fearful. Standing at the door is a rotund, balding man. His upper teeth and pointy nose remind you of a rat. He beckons, apologetic. You don't want to go. Anything else. In your mind is a single word, and the word is no, but it dissolves before it reaches your lips. You press against the back wall, cornered. Cry out. In darkness, you fight against unseen restraints. You cannot move your arms or legs. The man walks into the room carrying a lit candle, its meager flame casting long shadows across books and machinery. Straps bind your arms and legs. Cold metal circumscribes the crown of your head and the breadth of your chest. The man is sorry. He is in need of raw materials. They dismantle his work, and he needs another source. He needs to show them he was right. He thanks you. Then he turns a knob and you feel yourself begin to crack from within, and you can feel pieces of you torn away, like having your insides chewed by a horde of rats, and you are screaming a scream you can barely hear. Another night, heavy footsteps outside your door, coming for you. You look through a slit in the door. The flesh giant, the artificial being just outside, but facing left. Facing the end of the hall, the boy there. The boy looks with interest at the giant, then collapses to the floor like a shed of snakeskin. The giant convulses for a moment, then rights itself, turns away, and leaves. Graham looks at you, still wild-eyed, but somehow more present. He nods at you, then walks back to the end of his cell. We must go speak with the boy now. You close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul, and as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now. The same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward, the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds. The same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing toward the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself, quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem's shell and overtake the soul implanted within, encircling it, suppressing it. And contained in this new vessel, you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down the corridors, unheeded by the other constructs, and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. Balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl. But this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. "Bear witness," he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow. But the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the glow crawls through a tube along a length of copper wire that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment, the machine goes dark and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly, you take a plodding step forward, then another and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" he asks at a volume meant for the crowd. And this is the moment. At the top of your lungs, you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength, you drive your head into the crystal globe and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panic screams from the crowd, and by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memories and lifetimes, deeper and deeper, past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before, expansive, with a tall device encasing an Adra monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and the people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back to reality, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, praising, calculating. There is no mistaking now that it is the soul of the man who caused your awakening that gazes out from that borrowed husk. a watcher. You made me into a watcher. I need you to undo it. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest. He continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems for that moment that he recognizes you. He opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he was about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look, your hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face, there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then suddenly he slumps forward. The show is starting. The Man Who Waits. The leaden key acolyte showed me a vision of an agent in a place of misery and madness. Okay, so interview Graham. What does it say? Find the place, question the animators, talk to Optima, interview Graham, interview the patient ward, speak to the patient in the hall, subdue Uskrim. I discovered that the patient Uskrim has been possessed by the man I've been searching for. He must be subdued so I can learn from him how I might be able to undo my awakening. So, the man is a soul hopper. I need to find this agent and discover his or her plan to see if it holds any clues to finding the man I'm searching for. I uncovered a leaden key operative in the sanitarium. He has the ability to possess those with weak souls and was using one of the patients to influence Caedman Azo's animancy research. Okay. Sister, you're going to move there. Aloth, you're going to move away.
I'm ready.
Pelagina, you're going to zap the hell out of this thing.
What is it?
You're going to have to hit this thing. Adair, if you can, do that to it.
Huh?
And I will rob it of some much needed flesh. Okay, there we go.
Yeah?
This may take a little bit of time here, so let's give everybody some defense. Aloth, smack this down right here. Oh, you're on the ground. Okay. Aloth, you're going to want to get out of there. Who's this? Darius, that's me. Okay, let's see if we can whisper of treason this guy. Grazed patient. Crazed patient, not grazed. Darling, bang us right here. Okay. I will attack this fool, Aloth. Might be good for you to get away and do something here that can help with this whole group of people. I can give you minor blights. Yeah, sure, let's do that. You can just kind of start nuking people. Okay, darling, you're gonna get right here. It's not a great place for you. So I want you to come right here. Now go like this. Drop that right there. Pelagina, I need you to attack this guy. It's Batixa. I will try to mez another person. Actually, I'll try to mez Batixa. You can attack this person, crazed patient, will you? Smack him with fire. There we go. Get back to attacking this one.
Yeah?
Granting allies a bonus to all defense. Right here. Doink. Hit me up with this. There we go. Interdict everybody that's left. And now get this off. I will do this. Okay. How much is left? 3, mostly full. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Hit these guys with this.
Yeah?
Have you start shooting at him. There you go. Start paralyzing people. Yeah, paralyze her. Pelagina, heal thyself. You kick this thing on the ground. I will try to paralyze it in a second. When it gets up. If it doesn't, yep. If it doesn't die. Okay. Oh, and she leveled up. It's a little insane in the sanitarium. All right. Does anybody have anything hidden in their rooms here? You can see what the text is over here. Flavor text. The bucket reeks of offal. The chains grown with added weight. Crescent bite marks pit the edges of the cot. Can't imagine anybody has anything interesting in here. No. Alright, let's get ready to... We're probably going to have to fight some more flesh constructs on the way out of here. Yep. Get this thing. Knock it down, buddy.
Hey
You
there.
get right over here, if you can. I'm going to try to paralyze things. I'll try to paralyze this one.
How may I help?
Aloth, can you get through here? Good. Shoot this thing. Like that. Oh geez, Pelagini's all the way up here. Okay, launch that. I will help you with that. Because I am the paralyzer. Okay. Oh. So what do we have in this direction? Anything else? Let's go talk to this bozo down here. This place is nuts. You clown. This was all you're doing. You've been experimenting on patients against their wills, mangling their souls. I have witnessed it with my own eyes. Azo's face drains of what little color it had. How could you possibly? Look, it had to be done. Ethelmore and the others, they took everything from me. Everything when I was this close. I had to know. I had to know where I failed and why. Imagine the value if I'd succeeded. I had something that could make all those hollow infants into something like a real person. And with a few more patrons and a few years' research, who knows? No one has come that close with the legacy. It's why I have to continue. Why I have to risk everything. Here, working in secret. It's why you have to lie to Ethelmore for me. Tell him you've cleared me of all suspicion. I'm going to expose you for what you are.
Then I can't let you get in my way either.
This guy sounds like Fingers from Cyberpunk. I have to know. Caedman Azo is voice acted by a man named Christopher Sabat, and he does not have any Cyberpunk credits, so he sounds a lot like Fingers, the Ripper Doc, but he's not Fingers. Fingers is this really skinny, skeezy, scuzzy Ripper Doc later on in the story that you find out is doing a hack job on dolls, so I always kill him. Anyways. But I can't let you get in my way. Well, that's not going to be very helpful to you, bud, because it's, once again, 6 against 1. So she's going to torch you, which is probably really going to hurt. Adair is going to at least kick you on the ground and I don't know. I guess I'll blind you. What the hell? Azo. Caedman Azo. So what do you got here? North Warden patient record on Graham, which we kind of already had. And then this. Azo's research journal. I'm close to a breakthrough. I have found an ample source of essence now, and the vessels have responded positively to the infusion with the proxy. Human trials are next. Logical course, yes, but you were being played for a fool. So, whatever you thought your research was doing, it wasn't doing that. Okay, you take a second and paralyze this thing, Wayne. And then, Palagina, why don't you torch this?
Yeah?
And you can snag this.
Hi.
And you... Is this going to get hairy? It is. Start using this. She's going to hit us up with defense. I have paralyzed someone. Now let's grab some defense off someone. That thing's almost dead. Let's grab defense off that.
Hey
And
there.
then you can give us a little offense or something else. What is this? Might and resolve of allies in the area of effect. Okay. Those things are chunky. Here we go.
I'm
Palagina. Smack it down. Okay, she gets a lot of damage on that thing. Lots of screaming going on here. My cleric, my priest is leveled up. We should probably do that. Let's do this. Athletics lore. What do we want to do with her survival? You could keep putting points in the talent until she gets damage reduction twice. Increased consumable duration. That's kind of nice. I think mostly let's do lore for her so she can use higher level scrolls, and we'll save the next points. Okay, here we go. What have we been doing for her? She's got empowered interdiction, modifies interdiction plus 10 accuracy, aggrandizing radius, bonus first level spells. Let's see. Hold on, let's go back. Let's make sure we take a look at her and get her class the right way. I want to make sure that's what I want to take next. Interdiction, painful interdiction. Okay, I have a plan for her. I do like this. We're going to go lore like this. What we're going to grab is empowered interdiction. It's going to make her accuracy. And then later on, you're going to want to pick up inspiring radiance. Allies gain accuracy bonus from the priest's holy radiance. So that's a nice one to have. And then aggrandizing radiance. Everyone receives less healing from the priest's holy radiance, but the priest gains bonus to all attributes and movement. So you can see what happens. They get minus 75% healing received. Holy radiance hardly heals at all anyways. But you get plus 2 might, plus 2 con, plus 2 dex, plus 2 to everything. I think that's probably pretty good because, again, if she's got more intellect, her buffs are gonna last longer. If she's got more dexterity, she can cast things faster. And if she's got plus 2 might, her other healing spell is going to heal more. So I'd rather do that. Let's go for empowering interdiction right now, though. And then we'll roll along here. And I will paralyze this bad boy.
I'm
And
ready.
you can nukes it. Pelagina, what are you doing?
I'm ready.
Come back here. Now you can do this. Go after that thing. I will do something like attacking. Okay, oh man, I just grabbed a whole ton of stuff, didn't I? Psycho Vampiric Shield, let's vampire that thing.
Yeah?
Smack him.
That's it.
Grab it, my man, Adair. We got a lot of ground to cover here, so let's keep clearing this place out of nutters. I don't know that there's anything worthwhile over here. Not really. Oh, there's a room over here with some books, though. Whose room is this? A bunch of books. We'll take all of that. Darling, you can have that. The Iroquoian calendar. Fun. Lots of crazy voices. The Soul Hopper. Alright. I'm getting out of here. You should. You absolutely should, my friend. It's been a hell of an episode. I just want to talk to the statue here before we continue on. What the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. Yeah. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Uskrim, was working for the Leaden Key, only without knowing it. You finish your explanation and Ethelmore breaks his silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again and could be of some real use in our time of need. I fear what the future may hold for this place. I'm grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. What of Azo? What part did his experiments play in this catastrophe? I confronted him and he was forced to kill him. Ethelmore groans in disgust. Such a waste. There was none more gifted working here. In time, I had hoped to rehabilitate his image, but a mind like his, so full of ideas, leaves little room for patience. I would inquire more into the matter, but in truth you have done this institution a favor. Were his transgressions ever to reach the public, there would be a terrible uproar. I was blind to have trusted him a second time. Ethelmore's tone takes an ominous quality that reverberates all around you. I trust you will be more cautious in future inquiries.
Greetings.
Yes, well then. There we go, Ethelmore. We helped you. Now we must be on our way. So, that's it for that episode. Azo. Oh, and now we got someone running towards us.
Hail and well met.
Beg your pardon. I have a message for you. You are summoned to Hadrit House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. They say she's an ancient spider, spinning her nets throughout the city. Aloth gives you a careful look. If she wishes to see you, that either bodes very well or very ill. I see. Where can I find Hadrit House? It's just over there, my lord. The southwest corner of Brackenbury. You'll find the lady upstairs. Very well. Well then. Looks like we have to go see the lady of the house. Folks, it's been fun as usual. This game is a blast, so it's right up my alley. I will see you all on the next episode. As always, if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave your questions and comments down below. And until then, happy gaming, everyone.